Okay, let's move on. We've got that symbol now where it's supposed to be and all that sort of stuff. And so now our next task is to tell it to break this thing up, and we're going to use just some text functions to do that this morning. My strategy is something like this. This @ symbol here is in column 10, or position 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Space counts as a character just like any other. All right? And then so the next one's in position 21, and the total length of this string is 28. Okay? So once I know those numbers, for example here, I can say take 9 characters from the left-hand side, because I just need one less than that 10, right? I don't want to, the @ symbol should be part of their name. So I say, all right, take 9 characters from the left-hand side. And in here, I don't need this @ symbol and I don't need the space as part of their career. So it turns out if you take this number minus this number, which is 11, and subtract 2 more from it, I need to take 9 characters out of the middle of that string. All right? And it works every time, because I don't need to pick up these 2 characters here. And then lastly, over here, it's between 21 and 28. So 28 minus 21 is 7. But I don't need this character. I don't need one. I subtract 1 more, and I get the right amount. So I need 6 characters from the right-hand side of that string. Okay. So we figure out how many characters we want from the left, how many we want from the middle, how many we want from the right, and we chop it up, and we can break it up into columns. Okay. So we'll parse it, as they say, or separate it into its components. So there's that set of names that I prepped in the previous example. And I just copied it over here so I'd have a nice fresh sheet to start with and all that sort of stuff. So the find function. We can use this to find something in a string. Look for the @ symbol within the string that's in A3, and it'll return that number, and it returns the number 10. So then I know 1 less than that would be their full name, right? So, okay, so I did that, and copied that formula down. And then, as I said, we'll take some characters from the left-hand side. So there's this function left that does that for us. From the string that's in A3, take this number of characters. Well, the number of characters is 1 less than where that first @ symbol is. And I know where that is because I found it right here in B3. So I just say B3 minus 1. 9 characters. And it grabs the person's name, drops it in there. Okay. Second, I need to find that second @ symbol now, right? Because I want to figure out where they're. I set it up before, so that says here's where the career stops. So to do this one, it's similar idea to the first one, with 1 additional parameter. Again, look for the @ symbol in the string A4, but now I filled in the optional parameter down here, start number. If you leave that blank, it starts at the far left, or in position 1. But I'm saying, no, don't do that. Start at this position here, and that's B4 plus 1. B4 is where that first @ symbol is. I don't want to tell it to start looking there because it'll find it. Because that's where it looks the first, wherever you tell it, that's where it looks first. So we go 1 past that first @ symbol when we say B2 or B3 plus whatever, 1. That gets us 1 past this, and it'll go looking for the second @ symbol. And it found it, and it said it's in position 21. So now I know here that for Ms. Adams, her career is roughly between positions 10 and 21. Okay, there's a couple extra characters I want to get rid of, and we can do that. So I want to take something out of the middle of a string. So there's a mid function. From the text that's in A3, starting in position B3 plus 2. B3, remember, is where that at symbol is. So there's the at symbol and a space, and then the first character of that, whatever their career is. So that's why I say B3 plus 2, because I want to skip those two things. And then you tell it how many characters you want to take given that starting position. And that would be where the second one at symbol is minus where the first one is minus 2 to get rid of that one at and space. And it says US Mint, and it found it for us. So we've got that one done. And over here, I need to find out how long that string is. I need to, because I need that piece of information to figure out how many characters I want to take from the right. So the len function, the length function, it simply says how many characters are in that string altogether. So in that first one there's 28 characters. So I know the position of the very last thing in that. And then said, okay, now I want to take a certain number of characters from the right. So not surprisingly, there's a right function. From the text in A3, take a certain number of characters from the right-hand side. Well, it would be F3, which is the total number of characters, minus D3, which is where that last at symbol is, the one on the far right, minus one more because there's a space in there that I don't want. And so I'm taking, in this case, 6 characters from the right-hand side. And we did that. And now the reason why this one's messed up down here is I forgot to bring the at symbol over. Okay. And I'm still going to get an error message here because there's nothing more to pick up. All right. Once again, when you deal with this sort of stuff, you're always going to have one or two oddballs like this. And so you could either write a formula here or you could just delete the thing and go on with it. So questions about search or find, left, right, mid. Okay. Now, there's another, let's see, first of all, let me do this, because I can't never remember. The find function is case sensitive. So if you were looking for, like, I don't know, a capital M or something like that, you want to use the find function, because it distinguishes between upper and lowercase. There's a similar function called search. That's not case sensitive. But it supports wildcards. So if you were looking for, you know, M with whatever letter behind it, you could say M asterisk and stuff like that. You'd use that when you're trying to do stuff with part numbers or, you know, I don't know, all sorts of weird things like that. That's the only difference between the two. Okay? Anyway, find is a nice function. Generally speaking, it's what you want. So, any questions here? Okay, your turn. On P2, take that last column of names that you created in that first P1, that first practice one, put it here, and then using a combination of find and left, right, mid, break it up into those 3 parts, okay? And if you want to insert some extra columns, go ahead and do so.